Maplewood, a quaint town, leafy streets and Victorian houses, a place where life went by at a slower pace. But behind the peaceful facade, secrets simmered. Harold Finch embodied this duality. A man of contradictions, he was a beloved tinkerer, known for his inventions that were both ingenious and odd. Harold was a visionary. He filled his workshop with gadgets and gizmos. His latest creation was his masterpiece, a drone designed for aerial photography, capable of capturing Maplewood's beauty from breathtaking angles. It was a marvel of engineering, a testament to Harold's unique genius. The drone was more than just a machine to Harold. It was his legacy, a symbol of his innovative spirit in a town that often clung to the past. Little did he know, this invention would be at the center of a storm that would shatter Maplewood's tranquility forever.
This drone, it's going to change everything. It's my legacy.
And with that, Harold unknowingly set the stage for a mystery that would engulf the entire town. The day began like any other in Maplewood. The sun cast long shadows across manicured lawns. Birdsong filled the air. But inside Harold's workshop, a different scene awaited. Harold Finch was found dead. His body lay sprawled on the floor. Tools were scattered around him. His workshop, usually buzzing with activity, was eerily silent, except for a faint humming sound. Above Harold, his prized drone hovered in mid-air. The drone was the first thing that caught the eye. An unsettling irony hung in the air. Harold's invention, his pride and joy, was now a silent witness to his demise. The scene was bizarre, unnatural. It was a sight that whispered of foul play. Detective Lena Morrow arrived at the workshop. Her sharp eyes scanned the scene. She had a reputation for her methodical approach. Every detail mattered. Every clue was a piece of the puzzle. The drone was an enigma. It hovered effortlessly, its camera lens seeming to observe the scene with cold detachment. Detective Morrow knew this was no accident. This was no ordinary death. This was murder. The drone's presence was too deliberate. And then there was the matter of Harold's workshop. It was too perfect, too staged. Someone had gone to great lengths to make this look like an accident. But Detective Morrow knew better. She had seen enough to know that appearances could be deceiving. The investigation began. Detective Morrow started with those closest to Harold. His friends, his colleagues, his rivals. One name kept surfacing. Carl Denton. Carl was a traditional craftsman. He saw Harold's inventions as an insult, an affront to his old-world craftsmanship. Carl had a rock-solid alibi, or so he thought. He claimed he was at a woodworking convention. Witnesses placed him there. But Detective Morrow had a nagging suspicion. She dug deeper into Carl's alibi. The convention center's security footage told a different story.
I was at the convention the entire time. Everyone saw me there.
But the footage revealed otherwise. Carl had left the convention for a significant amount of time. Enough time to confront Harold. Enough time to commit the murder. His alibi crumbled. Detective Morrow knew she had her prime suspect. Tay.
This can't be right. I didn't...
But the evidence was clear. Carl Denton's time was up. As Detective Morrow delved further, she uncovered a darker side to Maplewood. Beneath the veneer of tranquility, resentment simmered. Harold, with his radical inventions, had become a lightning rod for this discontent.
An online forum caught her attention. A group called Keep Maplewood Quaint used the forum to air their grievances. Their posts were filled with vitriol. They railed against Harold's inventions, accusing him of disrupting their peaceful lives.
The forum was a breeding ground for anger and fear. Detective Morrow wondered, had their words escalated into something more sinister? Had someone from this group taken their hatred offline and into the real world? Section 6. A drone's fatal malfunction. The drone was the key. Detective Morrow sent it to forensics. The analysis revealed a chilling truth. The drone had been tampered with. Someone had reprogrammed it. The forensics team discovered a hidden code within the drone's software. This code was designed to trigger a specific malfunction. At a predetermined altitude, the drone would malfunction, sending it plummeting back to Earth. The killer had planned this meticulously. They knew Harold's routines. They knew he would be testing the drone at a certain time. They used his invention, his passion, to kill him. It was a cold and calculated murder. Section 7. Unmasking Old Timer. The online forum became Detective Morrow's focus. She needed to find the person behind the threats, the person who called themselves Old Timer. Old Timer was the most vocal member of the group. Their posts dripped with venom and malice. Detective Morrow used her cybercrime expertise. She traced the IP address. It led to an unlikely suspect. Mildred Cooper, an elderly woman known for her love of gardening and her homemade pies. But Mildred had a secret. Mildred was Old Timer, the online provocateur, the one who had instigated the hatred. But was she capable of murder? Detective Morrow had her doubts. Mildred might have been the voice, but was she the hand that pushed the drone's controls? Section 8. The Mastermind Revealed. Detective Morrow went to confront Mildred. The evidence was stacked against her, but Mildred's demeanor was not one of a guilty person. She was scared, confused. She admitted to the online posts, but she denied any involvement in Harold's death. Mildred's computer held the answer. Detective Morrow found a series of emails. The emails were from Carl Denton. He had been manipulating Mildred, feeding her lies about Harold. He used her fear, her anger, to turn her into a weapon.
He used her to deflect suspicion from himself. It was a cunning plan.
But Carl had underestimated Detective Morrow. He had made one crucial mistake. He had left his fingerprints all over the emails. Section 9. Maplewood's Uncertain Future. The truth came out. Carl Denton was arrested. He confessed to tampering with the drone and framing Mildred. Maplewood was in shock. Their peaceful facade was shattered. The cost of progress had been paid in blood. Harold's death hung over Maplewood like a shroud. His workshop, once a symbol of innovation, now stood empty. A reminder of the fine line between progress and destruction. In the aftermath, Maplewood began to heal. The online forum was shut down. The seeds of discontent were replaced by a newfound appreciation for their community. Harold's legacy lived on, not just in his inventions, but in the spirit of innovation he had ignited. But the question remained, could Maplewood embrace the future without forgetting the lessons of the past?